so. General, you okay? All right. You all right?
Made my grand entrance.
Yeah. And my paper almost flew away, which might have been a good thing, really.
Say what?
Mr. Boswell, how are you doing? Thank you for your presence. Thank you very much. Chris, how are you? Thank you. Yeah. Hey, where's Johnny? Ready? Good morning, everyone. Hello and good morning. Please make your way to this area or seat. Good morning. Someone help me control the crowd. Oh, I like you. Come on up. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so very much to the young man in the red and black checkered shirt. You have a great voice. You should probably be here instead of me. I'd like for all trustees, Alamance Community College trustees, please come and have a seat. ACC Foundation board members, please, we have seats for you. And to our general audience, if these seats are not taken, feel free to have one. It is with great pride that I welcome you to the dedication and ribbon cutting of 2 new buildings this morning, the Biotech Center of Excellence and the Student Services Center. And by the way, the Student Services Center is just a couple of 100 yards to the south of us. On behalf of Alamance Community College and the Board of Trustees, allow me to thank you sincerely for your presence this morning. We couldn't have done this without you, and I'm so happy to have so many of you present with us this morning. This is really, really great. While everyone here is important, I do want to recognize a few people who are special guests this morning. And this is a very dangerous step to take. Some of you have heard me say before that my mother said when you start recognizing people, that's when you get in trouble. You will miss someone. So forgive me in advance. First, I'd like to recognize our trustees, and I'll begin with our chair, Brigadier General Blake Williams. If you would just stand, General Williams, and continue standing, hold your applause. We have a lot of speakers, so I want to help you get through this. Miss Julie Emmons, Mr. Jim Butler, who is also Mayor of Burlington, Mr. Steve Carter, who is also a county commissioner, Dr. Rosalind Chris, Senator Anthony Forrest, Mr. Pete Glidewell, Mr. William Gomery, Mr. Mark Gordon, Ms. Sylvia Munoz, Dr. Charles Scott, Mr. Carl Steinbecker, and student trustee Alexander Versace. But I'm not done yet. I do want to include trustee emeriti Dr. Dick Fisher, Dr. Reed Dusenberry, and past trustee Mr. Eddie Boswell. Now, if there are any other trustees present this morning, please stand or raise your hand. Let's give our trustees a round of applause. Notice I didn't applaud, I'm holding on to my paper. A few minutes ago, it was all up in smoke, and fortunately, I was able to catch it. Otherwise, we'd be totally lost this morning. I want to recognize our foundation board chair and foundation board members. Ms. Amy Hill, board chair, and all the foundation board members, either stand or raise your hands, please. Thank you very much. A round of applause for them. And now it's time for our state legislative delegation. I'll begin with Senator Amy Galey. If you just stand and remain standing until I complete the state legislative delegation, we'll give you all a big round of applause. Senator Amy Galey, Representative Dennis Rydell, and Representative Stephen Ross. A round of applause for them. We certainly appreciate the support that you all have given us. And with that said, we could not be where we are this morning without our local county support. So I want to recognize our county commissioners present this morning. I will begin with Chair John Paisley, Mr. Steve Carter, Mr. Bill Lashley, Mr. Craig Turner, and Ms. Pamela Thompson. A round of applause for our local commissioners. And we have people in high places in Washington, D.C. also. We have with us this morning our congressional delegation and or representatives. And I'll begin with Senator Ted Budd. Senator Budd, good to see you again. Please stand. And okay. Thank you very much. We have Salima Thomas on behalf of Congresswoman Valerie Fouché. And Representative Stephen Blair on behalf of Senator Tom Tillis. Thank you. Well, actually, that should be Stephanie. I said Stephen, and you stood, and I said, there's no way, it's Stephanie. Do we have any other representatives from the congressional level present this morning? If so, now is your time to be recognized. Okay, we'll move on. Let me go back to county for a moment. The county manager, past and present, have been absolutely incredible with supporting us here at Alamance Community College. Ms. Heidi York, Alamance County Manager, please stand and raise your hand. Hi, Heidi, how are you? As a community college, and particularly here in Alamance County, we have a very close relationship with our school board and our superintendent. I'd like to recognize the chairman of the Alamance Burlington School System, Miss Sandy Ellington Graves, and Superintendent Dane Butler and his leadership. Stand to raise your hands where you are. Okay, right there. Thank you. Municipal leaders. And this is certainly where I'll probably leave someone out, so don't allow me to do that. Just stand and raise your hands. We have municipal leaders here today from Graham, from Burlington, from Mebane, from the town of Green Level, from Elon and Howell River, and any others. Oh, please stand, raise your hands. You may already be standing, and raise your hands. And I see people all around. Thank you very much. And I don't want to forget a trustee who also was on the front end of the work for us to realize the vision and dream of the Center for Excellence building. That's Mr. Carl Steinbecker, who chaired the Commission on Center of Excellence here at Alamance Community College. One more time you stand, Mr. Steinbecker. Thank you. Now, back to what my mother used to say, I'll get in trouble. At this time, I want everyone present to join me in giving a round of applause to everyone here. You are being recognized. And Dr. Sam Powell, I miss you as a prior board member and a board member at the state level, so thank you for your presence, sir. Back to the buildings. As you tour the Biotechnology Center of Excellence, please take a moment and look at the listing of major donors along the wall. Almost all the equipment and furniture and fixtures in this building were made available through donations. And I would be derelict in my duty if I didn't thank Senator Amy Galey for what she has done to support the equipment campaign for this building. She finessed the largest, actually the first ever, special appropriation for Alamance Community College last year, and that got us a very long ways in realizing the equipment, furniture, fixtures in this building. Senator Galey, I consider you not only my senator, but a friend. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll hear from LabCorp, Catherine Cowell, later, and I see Don Von Hagen in the audience from LabCorp, Vice President. LabCorp, second to the special appropriation, which was close to actually close to $4 million that Senator Galey finessed. LabCorp is the other largest donor in our audience today, and we're very grateful for what you've done. Let me also mention the Golden Leaf Foundation, represented by Marilyn Chisholm. Marilyn, are you here this morning? Marilyn, how are you? Good. Cone Health. Cone Health, Impact Alamance, Thermo Fisher Scientific, and others will be presented to you when you tour this building. And lastly, I would like to recognize the architects. Chris, where are you? Chris Brazer with Clark Nexon. He's in the back. And Chris is the designer, the chief designer of this building. He will be available inside the building next to the staircase when we start the tours to answer any questions that you may have about the building. And the builder was the Chrisman Company. The builder for the Student Services building, it's hard for me to remember, we're actually doing 2 buildings today. We're cutting one ribbon for 2 buildings. Was Hord Copeland Mark. And the architect, Resolute Builders, and Gary Hubler, raise your hand. Gary's right here, and he will be inside the Student Services building to answer any questions you may have about that building. The Biotechnology Center of Excellence building will house our life sciences programs, biotechnology, medical laboratory technology, some of it, histotechnology, agricultural biotechnology, and biomanufacturing. Now, this is not only a beautiful building for which I have received compliments as if though I built it myself from people all over the state. I was in Greensboro just a couple of days ago, a statewide conference, and people were coming up to me, and they had to get from Raleigh to Greensboro, and they were coming up to me and said, "Wow, you built a wonderful, beautiful building. What a great billboard for Alamance Community College." And I'm saying, you know, I never picked up a hammer. But thank you for that. The Biotech building is, as I indicated, the most well-placed education building on this campus. Not only will this $19.4 million building be highly visible to over 110,000 vehicles that pass by here each day, but it will serve to support workforce and economic development, hopefully in a way that we haven't seen before. So I look forward to big things coming from this beautiful building. Now let me shift for a moment to the Student Services Building. You can't see it from here, but if you visit that building today, and if you pick up a ticket here inside of this building, when you visit the Student Services Building, you may win a gift card. It's real money. $25. We have several of them. I don't know about you, but I always like winning. Not much for losing. The Student Services Building represents such a simple goal to centralize all of our student services, onboarding programs and services in one place so that we can streamline access for students, get students in. The literature clearly states that community colleges lose more students during the onboarding process than one might believe. So this is a way to ensure that students really have the opportunity to be engaged in the teaching and learning processes as opposed to getting lost in our campus. It's a very confusing campus. As opposed to getting lost in our campus, they can go to one building, get everything they need, then go get lost. No, not really. So I'm excited, as excited about the Student Services Building as I am the Biotech Center of Excellence building. At this time, I'd like to present to you an ACC quartet who will sing the national anthem. Where is the quartet? Come on up.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow, that was great. And we have a Final Four soon, and I suspect that they will be recruited to sing the national anthem. I have the distinct honor now to present to you my highest boss, the chairman of the Board of Trustees here at Alamance Community College, General Blake Williams, who will make some comments. General Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, friends, esteemed colleagues, and our legislative team that I think we spent the last 14 hours together. On behalf of the Alamance Community College Board of Trustees, allow me to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. I am pleased to have you here with us to celebrate this unique moment in ACC history. More than a year ago, we stood on these very spots here and across the way to break ground on the Biotechnology Center and the Student Services Center. And you know, we signed a beam that day, and I wonder if we can ever see those signatures. I think they're hidden. Today we witnessed the completion of both of these facilities, excited and confident in knowing that both of these buildings are in place for generations of students to come. I want to thank all of the citizens of Alamance County and those who have supported this project for the betterment of our college and community. Thank you for your support as always. Have a great day.
Thank you, General Williams. And now, my good friend, Chairman of the Alamance County Commissioners, Mr. John Paisley, would you please come up and make some comments?
Welcome to Alamance County. We are, in my opinion, the center of the entire state, north to south, east to west. We are on two major interstates right here, and we are by far the most important county, if for no other reason than we start the alphabet. I want to thank all of Alamance County residents. 2018, we passed major bonds, and Amy Gailey, our House representatives, our county commissioners, everybody was very, very supportive of that and helped make this endeavor and these two buildings that we're doing the ribbon cutting for possible today. And I just want to say thanks to the citizens and taxpayers of Alamance County. Additionally, we have Elon University, we have ACC, we have a super school superintendent and folks here, and sitting next to our senator on the front row, when they mentioned Heidi York, I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to interrupt Dr. Gatewood. We hit a home run when we hired this lady. We thank you. I think all of our commissioners are present here today. I think I've seen most of them, and we all support this endeavor. Dr. Gatewood indicated that he did not pick up a hammer. As General Williams just indicated, I, along with General Williams and several others, picked up a pen and signed a beam. And I didn't pick up a hammer either. Just want to say what a wonderful opportunity this is for our entire community. We have LabCorp, which has been a major contributor to this endeavor, Senator Gailey. We have Cone Hospital and that facility, and many, many others that have made this and the Student Center possible. And for all of you, I just want to say thank you. Can you imagine the biotech and the industry that's going to be improved, and the jobs that we're going to have, the students that we're going to be able to train through, if nothing else, this building right here. And Dr. Gatewood has done such a wonderful job training our students. Just want to say thanks and appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paisley. Thank you so very much. And I am glad that you and others picked up the pen and signed that document so that this could be possible. Thank you so very much. And now for the business leader, speaker, Ms. Catherine Cowell, who is Senior Vice President of LabCorp. Ms. Cowell, please come forward and make your comments.
Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Gatewood, for inviting LabCorp to this special event. What an amazing day for ACC, for Alamance County, and for employers like LabCorp, who are based in Alamance County and throughout North Carolina, because this day lets us celebrate this state-of-the-art facility and the education that this facility will bring to countless numbers of North Carolina residents to help them succeed in careers in the life sciences and biotechnology industries. The importance of these industries was never so evident to LabCorp than during the COVID-19 pandemic. During the pandemic, we performed over 70 million COVID PCR tests while supporting clinical trials that brought life-saving vaccines and treatments to market. But we could not have done that critical work without a highly skilled and dedicated workforce. We relied on our highly skilled and flexible team to develop and produce, for example, an at-home COVID test collection kit on a very rapid basis. Now that level of expertise is available through an education in this fantastic facility right here in Alamance County. We are proud supporters of ACC and of this facility because of the immense benefits it will bring to employers like LabCorp. Employers are needing a broad pool of highly skilled individuals, particularly employees who have the up-to-date technology skills that allow them to readily adapt to changing operational needs. Now this facility will bring that education to a real life opportunity for so many North Carolina residents. Having a local skilled employee base right here in Alamance County enhances our employment recruitment and reduces our on-the-job training needs. This center will ensure that ACC boosts skilled talent development and addresses the growing workforce needs for all North Carolina employers. And moreover, North Carolina's leading reputation as a state in which to do business depends on the access to a well-educated and skilled workforce. This facility and the educational opportunities that it offers will position ACC graduates to contribute to future life-saving innovations and also provide a positive and significant impact on the North Carolina economy. So thank you, Dr. Gatewood, and to so many others in this event for your support of the Center of Excellence, and LabCorp thanks you. Appreciate it.
Catherine, thank you so very much. And now I have a friend from Raleigh, and he's here with us today, Mr. Christopher Chung. And Chris is the Chief Executive Officer of the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina. He knows what's happening across this state. He knows what's in the pipeline, and there is no doubt in my mind that he understands the importance and significance of the Biotech Center of Excellence building. And again, we can't get students in this building if we can't get them onboarded into the college. So Chris, Mr. Chung, thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It's a tribute to how Dr. Gatewood is the face of ACC to those of us who do not live here in the community, that when he first called me and asked if I'd say a few words at today's ceremony, I just automatically presumed. I said, oh, that new building, it's the Gatewood Center of Biotechnology Excellence, isn't it? And he was very humble. He said, no, they haven't named it after me. But if I may suggest humbly to the powers that be, you may want to consider one day slapping Dr. Gatewood's name on this beautiful facility that we're commemorating today. Yeah, absolutely. I'm really pleased to be with you all today. Honestly, I could have just said exactly what Catherine said right now about why this is such an important facility, why it's such an important investment for the state and for the community to be making. In my job, I get the privilege of heading up the state's economic development efforts, working closely with the North Carolina Department of Commerce. And every day we get the opportunity to sit across the table from business leaders from around the world who are thinking about North Carolina as a place to invest, to expand, and to create jobs. And you can imagine a lot goes into the decision by those business leaders on where they choose to grow in the future. But at the very top of the list in places 1, 2, and 3 are workforce, workforce, and workforce. It is the driving force for every company in every industry, and it is the #1 ingredient for success for any enterprise trying to do anything in any industry. And so having a facility like this is absolutely key. There's a few ways that here in North Carolina we can continue to be competitive on solving those workforce needs for the companies that are looking to locate here. We can get talent, we can groom talent, and we can grow talent. And when I say get talent, I mean we can convince people to move here to North Carolina who bring the skills and education experience, and beautiful days like today make it a pretty easy sell to convince folks to move here. We can grow talent, of course, through investments in our K through 12 and higher education systems. It's something we have to continue to do to produce that pipeline of qualified workers who can support the growing industries of the future. And then, of course, we can groom talent through customized training and working with employers to upskill the current workforce. ACC, of course, in this new Biotechnology Center of Excellence is going to play a key role in those last two things, growing the talent and grooming the talent, and that's why it's also so exciting. I know today we're cutting the ribbon on celebrating this bricks and mortar facility. It's a gorgeous facility. I can't wait to get inside. I've driven on 40 countless times over the past couple years as I've watched this thing come out of the ground. It's a special moment indeed for the community and for anyone who's seen this thing come to life. But really, I want to say a couple of words to thank the people that are going to come into this building every day. And those are really, this building is great, but it's actually the people who come through here every day. They're the most important thing that we're getting ready to invest in and celebrate. The companies, of course, like LabCorp, who are going to be driving many of the training and education needs that this facility will meet. The faculty members who will teach the students the valuable skills that they'll need to be successful. And last, but certainly most importantly, all of you current and hopefully future students who are going to be learning in this building the skills that it takes to solve some of the world's biggest challenges in human health, medicine, and biotechnology. The students, you are the ones that we're all really celebrating today, because the stuff that you're going to do in this building and then go out there and do in the world, that's really why today is such an important occasion for all of us who get to be here with you today. So thank you, Dr. Gatewood, for the opportunity. Congratulations to everyone in the community on such a marvelous accomplishment. Great to be with you all today.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And just so you know, I did not pay him to say what he said. And so the next person is no stranger to Alamance Community College. He's no stranger to supporting Alamance Community College, and that is Senator Ted Budd. Senator Budd was here, I think it was last year, and he was here to help us celebrate a $900,000 telemedicine grant so that we could provide telemedicine training so students will learn how to be in the medical profession and reach out to various rural parts of our community. And Senator Budd, we thank you for that and certainly appreciate you coming back again today. And by the way, Mr. Gomery, a trustee and I were in your office about a month ago, and we were so well received. Thank you, and please thank your staff for the way they treated us, and they have followed up about possibilities for resources for our college. So if you would come forward now, sir, and make your comments.
Well, good morning, everybody. You know, I had a great conversation a few minutes ago with one of the professors in the building, and I was admiring his building, and I said, do you have class soon? He says, I have class in an hour, so make sure you finish on time. I said, they certainly have their priorities right. And look, it's an absolute honor. Thank you for coming up to Washington, D.C. to see us and our staff. Our state director, Kyle Bridges, is back there, so make sure that we all get to meet each other. And in any way we can serve you, we want to be there for you. I just want to thank President Gatewood for inviting me to be here today and for all your leadership. You know, today we cut the ribbon on a new Biotech Center of Excellence and Student Services building. But today really wouldn't be possible without all of your leadership and your management staff, and of course those hardworking teachers and professors and faculty that I mentioned just a minute ago. They're really training this next generation of healthcare workers. And I'm happy to say that part of the funding that went into making this project possible was from a competitive grant that I was proud to support in Washington, D.C. Now, I'm also thankful for each and every one of you and the students and the partnerships here and that grow the regional healthcare employees. And so you mentioned that. I appreciate the way you saw that, Chris. And I think growing, and grooming, I think was right. If not, I'll polish that up. But I really appreciate your approach there. And I just want to let you all know how grateful for all of your hard work and for being here today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Senator Budd. Thank you so very much. And now we will hear from our own group of state delegates to the North Carolina General Assembly, and we'll begin with Senator Amy Galey. Senator Galey.
morning. Thank you so much, Dr. Gatewood. First, I want to echo what Dr. Gatewood said about Senator Budd's excellent staff. We have been blessed to have had now Senator Budd once service as Congressman Budd, and as a county commissioner and as a state senator, I've had a lot of constituent concerns that overlap with federal concerns. And I have had opportunity many, many times to reach out to Kyle Bridges, and I just want to praise him in front of his boss and say what a wonderfully responsive and resourceful staff he has. They were much noticed and recognized and appreciated by those of us who also work to serve the public. I was thinking about, today we're talking about workforce development, and now I serve the Senate as a chair for education, which is K through community colleges in the state university system, and I'm also the chair of appropriations for education. Don't get excited, Dr. Gatewood. And we spend hours and hours and hours and hours talking about workforce development and how to train our workers to meet the needs of employers, also how to help people use education to self-realize and to become the person that they're destined to be. I'm actually going on a trip next week to see a CTE type program in another state to learn more about workforce development in other states. So it's something we spend a lot of time thinking and talking about. Today, though, I am thinking about Alamance County and how excited I am for this day for Alamance County. Who would have thought 10 years ago that this county would have approved millions of dollars in bonds, built tremendous buildings around the county, done renovations to our high schools, which were desperately needed, added facilities here at the community college because this community believes in education. Isn't that incredible? I mean, those of us who've been around Dr. Powell, I'm sure that you think, wow, you know, if 10 years ago you had told me that I would be here on this day doing this, you would have thought, well, maybe that might happen. But I want to say that I think the reason that has happened is because we have had some people in leadership in the last 10 years in this county who have been yes people, who have seen opportunity and they have said yes. And one of those was our former county manager, Brian Haygood, who is not here today. He was a delight to work with for 4 years because Brian was a yes person. You would ask him, do you think we could do this? Do you think we could do that? And he'd say, I don't know. Let me think about that. I think we might be able to work that out. He was a yes person. And I think that's something that we can all learn from and seeing the result. And Dr. Gatewood obviously is a yes person. He's a now person. Being a community that sees opportunity, critique, feedback. Let's call it that. Feedback has its place, and it keeps you humble, and it keeps you realistic. And it deserves to be incorporated, right? But being a community that sees opportunity, a community of yes people who have good common sense and are grounded in what's possible, but also can see a need. That's what I'm so excited about to be here today. And when I drive up and down I-40 on my way home from Raleigh or wherever I might be coming from, and I see this building, I will think about being a yes person and that I live in a yes county. So thank you for being here today.
My response is yes, Senator Gailey. Yes, yes, yes. Before we move to Representative Rydell, I do want to recognize past trustee Dan Engel, who is here. He's on the school board, so he was kind of recognized, but not by name. Trustee Engel, please raise your hand. Thank you very much. And by the way, Trustee Engel was a county commissioner also, and during the time of the bonds being developed and all of that, and I echo what Senator Gailey said. It's almost unbelievable what the people here have supported, so thank you for all of that. And now, Representative Dennis Rydell. Representative Rydell, please come forward.
Senator Budd and many distinguished guests that are here, this is a special occasion
and special occasions require special socks. One for the Biotechnology Center of Excellence, and one for the Student Services Center. You may not remember anything I say, but you'll remember the socks. You're welcome. Amy talked about 10 years ago. In the last 10 years, what we've seen happen to education, poor education here in Alamance County has been remarkable. It's been a team effort. It has been something that has rebuilt, I think, within our county, esprit de corps towards education in general. And the excellent things that occurred over these 10 years coincidentally occurred beginning with the arrival of Dr. Gatewood and continue on through the tenure of Dr. Gatewood. So please do not plan on going anywhere for quite some time. I've noticed that Alamance Community College, since your arrival in the past 10 years, has become a place of dreams. Perhaps you've noticed that as well. It's a place where a high school student who wants to get a jump start on their education in college can come. It's a place where a recent high school graduate can begin taking classes in preparation for eventually completing a 4-year degree, but on a schedule that suits their life at that point. It's a place where people who dream of a different occupation, a different livelihood, a different career path can come and have those dreams fulfilled here. This is a place of dreams. It's a place for dreamers, and I'd be remiss if I did not point out that it's good to have a chief dreamer of dreams as the president of this institution. So Dr. Gatewood, I congratulate you. I congratulate your staff, the faculty, the student body, the trustees, the foundation, everybody who has had a hand in bringing this about. God bless you. This is going to bring about many blessings for this community. We will have our lives touched in ways we'll never know to appreciate by what takes place in this building and in the Student Services Center building. So again, I say thank you, Dr. Gatewood. We appreciate you. We're very thankful for your leadership, and I'm looking forward to cutting a ribbon. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Rydell. Thank you very much. And I have an engagement this afternoon, and I want to make a good impression. Would you mind going with me, please? And I love the stocks. You know, I'm into stocks. And thank you so much for your support. And now we will hear from Representative Ross. Representative Ross, please come forward. Representative Stephen Ross. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Gatewood, and I echo the comments of my colleagues on the service that you provided this institution. I'm going to step back a little bit in time. When I was in elementary school, I was at East Lawn Elementary and looking out the window, and I don't know exactly what grade it was, but they were building a building. And I remember going home and asking my parents, because this building was bigger than my elementary school. I said, what is this building they're building beside us over here? And my mother said, well, that's the new community college. And she said, that's where they're going to train people for the many jobs that we have in our area. Now, I'm going to fast forward a little bit because, as you all know, and I don't want to date myself here, but the jobs that we had at that time were far different than the jobs that we have now. Great changes. We talk about things now that back then we didn't even know what it was. You know, when you start talking about life sciences and biotechnology and all of these things, those were words we didn't even talk about. But what this institution has done since that time has adapted, constantly adapted to the new world, the new jobs that we know that we have to have, and we know that we have to be able to meet the needs to move into the future. This institution has been on the cutting edge. And I'm proud when I go to Raleigh and I have my colleagues that drive by here and they say, what's that building they're building over there? I say, well, that's the latest and greatest, the newest thing that's going on in our economy. And I said they're adapting. They're building a building to train students to be able to take those jobs and be able to fill those jobs. You heard Chris Chung talk earlier about workforce development. I would say the biggest issue that we hear, and I chair commerce in the House, the biggest issue that we have, the biggest issue that we debate every day is how do we meet the jobs that are out there now, but not just now, but in the future. So looking at what's taken place in Alamance County over this vast period of time since my elementary school days and now, and you look at what's taken place here on this campus, I know that we are going to be well positioned here in Alamance County to take advantage of whatever the future brings. I mean, there are things coming that we don't even know what they are now, but this institution will be there when that happens, and they will meet that need. And that's something that we're committed to. This county has been committed to, and I'm proud to be a part of this county and proud to be part of what we see taking place here today, because we're meeting the needs. We're meeting the needs of our students. We're giving them the tools, and we're going to meet the needs of our employers. So thank you all who supported this, and all of you that made this possible, and those that have made it possible over the years. You know, there's been so many things, so many buildings built since we first started over here. And Dr. Gatewood, there is one place where you can get lost easier than you can on this campus, and that's the state legislative building. We're directing traffic every day. We have people come in the office and say, I don't know how do I get out of here? But again, I just want to say thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ross, and it is great to have you back, sir. We missed you, so welcome back. And now we'll hear from our last speaker, after which we'll get down to what we've all been waiting for, and of course that is the ribbon cutting. And the last speaker for today is Jonathan Scott, who is a biotechnology student. Jonathan, where are you? Oh, okay, thank you, thank you. I'm great. Good. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. It is a privilege for me to speak with you as Alamance County College dedicates the Biotechnology Center of Excellence. As a student in the biotechnology program, I want to tell you what this facility will mean for myself and my fellow students in the sciences. Each of us are enrolled in ACC for a variety of different reasons, too many to list right now. But for those studying sciences, specifically biotechnology, we knew we were coming to one of the top community colleges in North Carolina for this purpose. This program has been a mainstay here at ACC since it started in 1985. This program has grown and changed in how it is taught, meeting the challenge of a developing science that continues to witness advances every year. That is why it was exciting to learn that college leadership and the Board of Trustees chose to make plans for this center of excellence focused around biotechnology. For myself, I am seeking my associate's degree because I was originally interested in starting my own greenhouse business. Since diving a little deeper into the program and all that it offers, my goals have changed a little bit. Now I would love the opportunity to create some type of medicine that is derived directly from plants and that has the ability to treat autoimmune diseases. This is a type of knowledge that is gained through the biotechnology program here at ACC. As students, we have inserted genes into vectors and transformed into E. coli. We have successfully grown cell lines, worked in biological safety cabinets, and learned aseptic techniques that are used in today's industry. By the end of the program, we will have gained over 700 lab hours. Those of us who are studying in this field know how biotechnology is all around us. A lot of people depend on these products and don't realize the potential for so much more. From synthetic insulin to advanced bioengineered crops, the possibilities really seem almost endless. Biotechnology is simply using living organisms to perform specific industrial or manufacturing processes. The most important use of biotechnology in our world is when it is used to battle diseases that were thought to be incurable. With the ability to target and amplify specific genes, it is now possible to develop more personal vaccines and antibiotics. And as I said, that is the area which I want to become a part of. I could go on, and I guess you could tell I like talking about science, and that's why you can be certain that my classmates and I will take full advantage of this impressive building for many years to come. We will take our commitment to learn seriously and our responsibility to make a difference in our world, because you at this college have placed that trust in us by constructing this facility with the most advanced equipment and quality instructors available. Biotechnology is about healing the world, feeding the world, and fueling the world, and we as students want to be a part of that. Thank you all here today who have made that happen. Thank you.
Jonathan, thank you very much. Thank you for being a student, and learn all you can as fast as you can so you can help as many people as you can. So that's my salute to you, okay? And now for what we've all been waiting for, and that is the ribbon cutting. I'd like for Yanni Butler to join me on the stage. Yanni is the Executive Director of the Biotechnology Center of Excellence. Please remember that we are cutting the ribbon, one ribbon, for two buildings, the Student Services Building and this very beautiful building. Before I do that, one last recognition, and that is the wonderful faculty and staff here at this college. Honestly, we could do none of this without them. And one person in particular, Tom Hartman, who is the Associate VP for Facilities Management. Tom, are you here today? Tom in the back. Come all the way up, Tom. Come up, come up. So we didn't run you away yesterday, so you're here, and I really appreciate that. Tom, come a little closer. So let me tell you who Tom Hartman is. He is the guy that have been juggling a lot of major projects here. We completed 6 major projects last year. I won't go into those now. He's been juggling this project, this building, the Student Services Building, and the planning and the early stages of our Public Safety Training Center that will be located in Green Level, North Carolina. And Tom, I just wanted to recognize you today for all of that, and for having everything pristine today so that people can see the best side of us. Thank you, Tom, and thank you, faculty and staff. Thank you all, everyone. Remain seated just for a moment and hear the instructions.
So several of you have asked me to speak just briefly, and as a native of Alamance County, this is a dream realized for each and every one of us. It would not have happened without each and every one of you. We've already heard that this building and the equipment will be the envy of other community colleges, and many four-year institutions have already contacted our leadership to indicate that they are so jealous of us. It all happens because of you and your support. This will also be an element of economic development for Alamance County and the Triad region, as Alamance County is really the link between the Triad and the Triangle. We really hope this becomes the 100-mile biotech corridor from Raleigh to Winston-Salem, and guess who's at the very center of that corridor? We are in this building. We want to thank the Powell family, because without the Powell family, none of this would have been possible. From back in the 1920s until today, they're still vitally important to everything life science and biotech in the county. You will notice as you enter today, really cool elements, from sound dampening windows to help protect us from the traffic noise. You will hear more about the state-of-the-art heating and cooling systems. So I really am excited for you. So let me just continue. Excited to be part of a special day celebrating the ribbon cutting ceremony for not only the Biotech Center of Excellence, but also for the Student Services Center. Before we cut the ribbon, I would like to remind you that we will provide tours immediately after today's ceremony in both buildings. We are raffling off various gift cards today, and to ensure that you are part of the raffle, please pick up a ticket from a staff member inside the Biotechnology Center of Excellence building and submit it to a staff member at the Student Services Building, and we will be announcing winners periodically throughout today's events. At this time, I would like the following groups to come forward. Dr. Gatewood, will you come down to the ribbon? So I would like to invite the following groups to join Dr. Gatewood at the ribbon, if you'll fill in around him. Today's platform guest, our speakers, if you will join Dr. Gatewood. ACC's Board of Trustees, past and present. Our Alamance County Commissioners. Our congressional representatives. Our ACC Foundation board members. Our capital campaign donors, and those that donated and supported the purchase of equipment for this building. Alamance Burlington Board of Education, and municipal leaders from our towns and cities. Our friends, our dear friends at the North Carolina Biotechnology Center, Doug and your team, please join us. Our builders and architects, college administrators, faculty and staff, our dear students who are really the foundation for everything we do, and any other guest in attendance that wish to be part of this ceremony, we invite you to come forward and gather up front related to our ribbon cutting. Thank you so much, and once we finish with the ribbon cutting, the tours will begin. Thank you.